Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on the time zone. Now, the late Honorable Cyrus Jirongo, at one point, he was part of the deep state. This was during the reign of the late President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi, a president who served for the longest time ever in this country, and he will go in the history of this country. I don't think if we will have another president who can serve for 24 years anytime soon in Kenya. And so, Cyrus Jirongo, at one point, he was on Jeff Koinange Live trying to give the anatomy of assassination in the country called Kenya. Why would someone be assassinated? And how assassination is normally carried out in this country. He was explaining this live, and it was at a time when already they had left power. And the person who was the president actually by that time was Uhuru Kenyatta. Not even Kibaki, but Uhuru Kenyatta. He went on to reveal exactly what normally happened. What they will plant, the narrative they will sponsor, and what they want to achieve. And the question is, could it be that someone has applied the same thing on Cyrus Jirongo?
Typical. An assassination in Kenya, its anatomy is simple. You are either standing on a path for somebody who holds a certain political office, or there is an economic crime that needs to be covered, and you have that information, and you are letting the public know. So what do? First of all, that situation exists. You are gunned down. Secondly, you hear a story of a woman somewhere. Then there'll be, of course, to cause confusion. Then there'll be a story of money and a business deal somewhere. And then, thereafter, the police will come up with some very stupid explanation of what happened. And thereafter, you will hear the police have arrested somebody, taken to court, and then pack him there. You'll never hear of the story again.
Do you think we'll ever know who killed Jacob Zuma?
Let me just explain. This is a very critical thing. Because surely it seems like the issue of assassination is creeping back into Kenya to silence those of different political opinion, or those that are releasing information that might make certain individuals culpable of economic crimes. Now, thereafter, that explanation comes up. It doesn't make sense. Then, or somebody is killed. You hear certain criminals were gunned down. You are told a gun was recovered, and the casings that we had found at the scene of crime tally with the gun that should have been used in that murder. And then somehow the media is manipulated and the people forget about you.
Yeah.
Now, I want us to look into what Cyrus Jirongo said before he died, and also give our views on it. But before we go in the discussion, I have a quick and humble request. For those who are watching the channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much, and back to our discussion. Jirongo has given two major reasons why one can be assassinated in this country. Number one, you are either standing on part of somebody who is holding to political office. So they have to deal with you. You are a threat to that person, and there is a possibility he can lose the political office that he is holding to. And since you are standing in as a threat, one of the ways to sustain that person in that office is to finish you so that the threat is no longer there. All of you know that. That's why we see someone who is either an MP, a vice president, a minister, or even a president. Unaona fulani ni msumbufu sana. Unamuondoa ama unadili na ile team ambaye inamsaidia to strategize on how to remove you in office. Number two, if not political, there is someone with a record of economic crime that need to be covered. And so you have that critical inside information and you are letting the public to know. Could there be a possibility that Cyrus Jirongo was holding to that economic crime information against someone and was sharing it to the public? Jirongo told us that he is writing a book, and in fact he said if he's just waiting to release the book. He had already written a book. That book is exposing certain individuals. The issue of crime, economic crime. So, when we look at the two, was Jirongo a big threat to certain politicians holding to an office? Let us look at that. Yeye alikuwa threat kwa Musalia Mudavadi that he can become the next prime CS? No. Was he a serious threat to Fernanda's brother because that is what he vied for in Kakamega in the past election? The answer is no. The person who came second after Baraza was Malala. So Malala is a threat to Baraza than Jirongo. Was Jirongo interested in becoming an MP in where he served earlier? The answer is no. He did not declare his interest in being a member of parliament. And the current MP is Nabina Bwera. Kulikuweko na the deputy governor wa Kakamega, akatoka na Bwera ako. Jirongo hataki kuwa Lugari MP. So the issue of being a political threat to someone, it's not here nor there. So the one that stands is the issue of economic crime. Did he have some critical information? He has talked about several leaders. I've shared those videos in our previous discussions. You can go and look at it. He pointed at certain leaders Could they be worried that he has critical information that will affect them? There can be such a possibility. So what do? Kuna kitandawili cha kutegua hapa. You are gunned down. Then you are told a story of a woman somewhere. Kama sio kupigwa risasi, there is a staged accident. We are being told that Jirongo drove in his vehicle with a woman, then he later dropped the woman somewhere, then he was driving back after dropping the woman or lady. The same story we were told about the late former IBC Commissioner Musando. Mwili yake ilipatikana alongside a woman who had been killed. Look at the death of Jacob Juma. There was a story about a lady. It is repeating itself. So the police will come up with a story, and you will hear the story of money and business deals. Tasikia alikuwa kwa business deals. So watu walikuwa nao kwa business deals, they're the ones who are dealing with him. So narratives will come out. People will be arrested. Tasikia labda yule dereva wa ile gari ameshikwa, aenda record statement. Si gari yake ilikuwa kwa police station huko ndio ako. Then you will hear other things will follow. That's how government operate when it comes to the anatomy of assassination. So could his story be about assassination? We can't rule out that. I don't know if this, but please let us below in the comment section so that we can continue with our discussion. Thank you so much and see you in our next video.